All right, hello everybody, and welcome to another Pixel Established exclusive. Guys, the Fujifilm 50S Mark II just got released, and Ken L has his hands on it. I'm so excited. It's got all this great feature. I think processor got improved, image stabilization, in-body, battery. I don't know. The whole tech gamut got improved. Something got improved, but Ken has it in his hand. So Ken, tell us about it. We're excited.
Well, here you see is another white box is the traditional design of the GFX series, and you can see it's here is the 50S Mark II. Is it?
Mark II. Yeah, well, it actually said 50S2. I didn't see the mark, but whatever works.
Yeah. Just
officially, did Fuji call them 50S Mark II or 50S2?
And well, internally they told me that's the 50S Mark II, but I'm not sure will they going to change the name when they released.
Okay, because I don't see the MK there, so just curious.
Yeah. Well, probably just call it like 50S2. What we're going to do today is first thing I'm going to the open box and see what inside this packing. Yeah.
I already know what's inside. I know what's inside. It's a camera.
The camera is definitely inside, yeah. So the first opening, there's a leaflet inside the packing, and there's no more menu like the GFX 100S. So if you need the camera menu, probably you need to go to the Fujifilm.com to download it. Yeah, so they could be.
I like that
saving.
Because Fuji is actually care about the world. Save paper, save the forest. Good for you, Fuji.
I don't think I've ever looked at the physical menu in any camera anywhere.
Yeah, so save the trees, save the forest. Good job.
So before I take out the camera, so you can see there's the Fujifilm logo's camera strap.
Does that have a GFX on there or just Fujifilm?
Just Fujifilm like usual. There's no GFX word on it. Yeah, and there's the C2C cable.
Well, what are the ends? Is that USB? USB-C?
C2C, that's what he just said.
USB-C.
C2C. Type C to Type C. Yeah.
See.
Some different universe socket, and there's a power adapter. It's for the C port.
Oh.
For the cable. Yes. And then.
Oh no! They don't give you a charger for the battery. You just plug the camera in and charge the battery again, huh?
I'm confused. What is that? What is that? How does that thing charge? So you charge.
You plug into your camera's USB-C, and that's how you charge.
Oh.
Sony does the same thing. All the new camera now, they basically give you no charger for the batteries.
Like this. Just plug the cable and then use the power adapter and just plug inside your camera body, just charge the battery. But this is not a very good way to charge the battery.
Yeah, they're gonna make like either aftermarket or like a third-party charger for sure.
Well, the worst thing is if you got any damage of the Type-C port for charging the battery, you have to change the main board of the camera. That's costs a lot.
Yeah.
Yes. And yes, that's the new battery is a W235. Like,
so that's the same battery as the 100S, yes?
Also an XT4.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah,
I
that's right.
XT4 battery. It's really good. People love it. It's
it has a longer battery life and capacity, yes.
Yeah. Now, then this is the camera itself.
Ooh, compact.
It looks exactly like GFX 100S.
Yes, I have one here. It says, now this is the 100S, and this is the 50S2.
Wow. I mean, to a Canon shooter like myself, I mean, I know Canon 1DX. I don't know Fuji that well. They look the same. What's the difference between those two cameras, Ken?
Well, the hardware is definitely is different, and also from the surface, the difference is the logo. Yeah, the 100 just only have the GFX logo here, and the 50S2 they have the 50S2 logo. So as you can see, it's exactly the same design, same body from a 100S to the 50S2. So what's the main difference is the sensor size. Oh, no, sorry. The sensor itself is the 50 megapixel. The 100 is 102, as you know. And also one thing is the 50S Mark II is using the same sensor like the 50S. Oh, sorry. Yeah, same
The
sensor as
previous
the
generation of the
50S.
50, because it's a 50 line. Okay, so
Yeah.
50 megapixel.
That's already a very good sensors. Love
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah, it's a very good one. I've been using it like 3 years. So it's the 4
I've
years.
been waiting for the
in.
50 because when the 100S came out, I feel like, yeah, it's cool. The most lovely feature for me is the IBIS, but I don't need 100 megapixels. I mean, I do portrait. Do you know how hard is it to try to retouch 100 megapixel face?
Well,
Hey, I'm
that's
fine
exactly
with 12
what I'm.
megapixel, all right? 12 is okay.
Oh god,
Well, that's
12 can go to
exactly what
garbage
I'm
can.
facing now. It's really painful to retouch thing like 100 megapixel image. So I would really love to have a 50 now.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think 50 is the magic number. 12 can, go to hell.
Okay, I agree. 12 is a little bit low, but it was good for its time. But now we're talking about medium format. So 50 is a good number. 100, I think, is too much as well.
Well, there's somewhere 150 on the market.
I mean, there's a need for stuff like that, but for the majority of people doing like portrait and non-commercial work, 50 is plenty, right?
Well, that's why this is considered high-end cameras. Imagine that you're a landscape photographer and you go to freaking, I don't know, Alaska and take some amazing landscape picture. And you need to print that picture to a wall size. When I say wall size, I mean museum wall size, not your home wall size. Then you need that 100 megapixels. To do
Or maybe the
150.
people living in a museum.
But how often do you do that, right? So therefore, that's why
I did
Ken likes
that
the
twice in my lifetime.
50. Bravo,
Nice.
Jeremy. Bravo. But it sounds like a 50 is more friendly to use more often, unless you're going to do that once in a lifetime, or in Jeremy's case, twice in a lifetime, where you're going to get a picture that big.
No, there's always a talk out there that megapixel is not important, which is in a sense of depends what kind of photographer you are, right? Let's say you're a street photographer, you're a casual photographer, you're wedding photographers, then it doesn't matter because the moments that you captures, which is important. But if you're commercial photographers and you got hired by work like Ken, right? And sometimes Ken doesn't even know how the client want to use the photo. You want to maximize the megapixel for them, even though they want to put out a wall size of billboard.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes they just print it out on the billboard without my notice. If I can use like the APS-C, that's
billboard would be fine because people don't go close up and look at the billboard. It's looking from the car, right? But if you're thinking people on like a building, like a museum or a shopping mall or your train station, MTL, people can go up close and see, oh, what? Wait, how come it's so blurry?
All right, okay. So that's a whole different debate. So this one is a 50 megapixel camera. Got it. Cool.
Yeah.
You know that when you got us in, that will be rebate no matter what. You can't avoid that.
Well, we'll save that for a different video.
No, we're doing this on this video.
Oh gosh, Jeremy.
Well, this one's going to be really affordable one.
I know, right? Okay. How much is it again?
And the official price that I know is under 4,000. Well, definitely cheaper than the 50 hours when it first released.
Did you know that currently right now, not when it released, currently right now in B&H, they're selling the GFX 50S for $5,500 US.
What?
So the brand new camera with like IBIS is actually cheaper than the original one.
Yeah, and the 50S, when it's on 2017, like 4 years from now?
Yeah.
This is due to the market research and change the price.
So people, if you want a medium format camera that's affordable, this is it.
Yeah, definitely.
Wait, how much is the Sony A1 now? It's like 5,000-ish. Wait, I can find that out. Sure. I can find out right now. I have internet.
But while you're doing that, Jeremy, the 50S Mark II, how much is that going to go for again?
Less than 4,000?
Less than 4,000. Okay.
$39.99.
Solid. You have 50 megapixel, you have image stabilization built in, you got the new battery, and you got a nice body design.
All right, check this out. Sony Alpha 1 mirrorless. also 50 megapixel, but full frame. Guess how much?
5,000.
6,500.
What? That's nuts. Well, it probably has really good video capability.
It has all the
right?
other features,
It
but
has
if you just
video.
compare as like a 50 megapixel, then this is way cheaper.
Wait, is it even medium format? It's not, right? It's full
No,
frame.
it's full frame.
Yeah, so even though it has more megapixel, it's different because the sensor size.
It's more cram in there.
Yeah.
So the image quality is not going to be the same at all.
Yeah, and you don't have the depth of field that you have with medium format.
Oh, it's definitely different.
Yep.
All right,
So
what's next?
Yeah, so what else can you tell us about this camera? So what did it improve? Why is this 50S Mark II such a good value?
Oh, well, that they improve quite a lot. Well, let me tell you something that I dislike about the 50S2. First thing, I was a 50S owner. I had a 50S. Well, of course, I sold it and I upgraded to the 100S as you've seen it. So the first thing is the 50S, you have the removable EVF. And you can attach a battery grip on it for taking the portraits. But on the 50S Mark II, obviously they use the same body like the 100S. The EVF is the inbuilt solid body. And as you can see at the bottom, they don't have any connection pin. So which means you cannot add any battery grip on it as well. Just like 100S. Well, except that part, and I would say this is a huge improvement. Why? Well, as you know that there's the inbuilt IBIS inside the camera body. It's exactly the same with the GFX 100S, the 6-stop. If you come, 6 stops, yeah. Well, as I remember, the GFX 100 is the 5.5 stop, is it?
Yes.
I can't remember.
Yeah, I think 6 stop is
so
a much
this one-
improvement, but previous one is 5.5. You're right.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So this is the new IBIS system from the 100S.
A medium format camera that I can use for natural light handheld.
And
even
it's
in low
cost
light, right?
effective.
Well, only the Fujifilm gives you that because on the market, the other brand of the medium format, it doesn't have any camera with the IBIS built in.
I know. The
Yeah.
previous,
And
This is gonna be
you
awesome.
told me this earlier, right, Jeremy? Like medium format requires more stability when you're taking picture than even full format. Right?
Yeah, because your sensor and your lens, the focusing and the whole distance is different than your normal crop sensor and even full frames.
right.
So actually your safe shutter is different too, right, Ken?
Yep.
So therefore, we need in-body image stabilization even more
6 stops.
solid.
Well, with some OIS GF lens with the body, you can maximize up to 6.5 stop.
Ah, but then you're shooting with in full frame now.
No.
It's
No.
still medium format.
Yep.
I thought you said the medium format lens don't have optical image stabilization.
It does.
It
At
does?
least there's 3-4 of them on the GFX series.
Oh, okay.
He said not all of them has it.
Okay, got it. So some do. So you combine the lenses that have image stabilization with this new camera that has image stabilization in body, then you can get up to 6.5 stops of image stabilization in a medium
Exactly.
format. Nice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, except the IBIS, and they have upgraded processor inside the camera. It's using the X processor 4, exactly the same with the 100S. So it's going to be the really responsive, right?
Real fast.
Yeah.
Real fast one.
Fast processing. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So
Yeah.
quick questions. It does come with the upgraded battery, which is the same as XT4 and the 100S. Well, not 100S, but yeah, 100S.
Yeah, 100.
So
100.
even though without a battery grip and extra battery, it should still last much more than the previous one, right? So that should kind of
yes,
solve the
definitely.
problem.
Well, I would say a little bit more because your camera body have the IBIS, it still drive your battery. So
Oh, that's true. What about that? Okay. Yeah.
yeah.
You got
Well,
something,
I
you
would
do something.
say, I would say if you're using the old battery, take like 380 per battery. So this one going to be like 450 with the IBIS on. If you turn the IBIS off, it's definitely go a little bit more.
You know what? I think that's good. This is not one of those full frame, amazing sports shooting camera. It's like what, 3 to 5 frames per second max.
Yeah.
So I think that's more than enough. I mean, you don't, how many 50 megapixel picture you want randomly anyway? You don't want a miss shot. You just want that one shot. If you're a good photographer, you only need one shot.
Okay. But if you're shooting like a little bit jump up, maybe you need 2 or 3 frame of the
And that's
shot.
why I don't do that. Actually, I don't even know how to do that. So I don't do that.
I don't do that often, but sometimes the client requests you do have to do it.
I know.
Especially when
Hey, those
I'm
models.
using
Oh, let me
video
flap my
camera.
dress and try to capture it. That's
Yeah,
difficult.
exactly.
No, it's got the upgraded battery that has more capacity, but you have in-body image stabilization, which takes down the battery a little bit, but it's a nice, smaller, compact camera. It doesn't have the battery grip, so deal with it, right? Just change the battery when you're out of battery.
Hey, you were paying like how much? $1,500 less.
Oh shoot! I would rather just change the battery. I'm okay with changing the battery.
You can buy a lot of battery with $1,500, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And plus,
And also,
it's a light.
also
it's a
you can
lighter
buy
camera.
a very good power bank to use it.
So this is what I feel like. There's a lot of comparison videos out there, right? And what they basically try to compare back to back. But I think the way to compare depends who you are, what kind of photographer you are, and also check out the price first and see what you gain and what you lose and see how that weigh out. That's how you compare. You don't really just go spec by spec. That's not even legitimate to do that. It's just like kind of clickbait, to be honest. It's not even legitimate. I said that twice, didn't I?
Right. I mean, it's got to be like a camera that's your need, right? If you are someone that needs 4K video, I don't think that 50S Mark II even does 4K video, right?
Unfortunately, it doesn't because it's using the old sensor, so it's only up to the 1080p 30 frame.
Which is solid, given the fact that it does full medium formats. That 1080p 30 frame is going to look super very smooth with shallow depth of field. So I mean, it has its needs, like Jeremy says, right? You don't want to compare spec for spec, but you got to compare on what you need and what you want to buy the camera for.
I mean, let's just put it this way: how many people will buy a 50S Mark II for video, a medium format, 50 megapixel camera to do video? And on top of that, all those lenses are expensive. The GFX is not as cheap as the other ones. So it's not even legitimate to actually buy a camera body like this using the GFX system for videos.
There we go. That's why this camera is not for me. But
it just feel there. People ask for it. Nowadays, if you have a camera that don't have video function, people like, oh, that's not for me. But even though they don't even shoot video, they just want it.
They want to have everything and a kitchen sink.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, everybody wants their camera with their video function, so it's just they added in the additional features. Only if you need it.
Really good example. I think both me and David bought one of this.
That's a ZV-1, right?
I know.
Love my ZV-1.
How many times have you used it?
I use it a good amount of time because unlike you, Jeremy, I do a lot of video, and that ZV-1 does 4K at 24 frames per second. So it actually does decent video. Now it overheats, so you can't do it for a long time, but it still does 4K. Whereas the camera that Ken is holding, the GFX 50S Mark II, is an amazing medium format camera with image stabilization built in the body and everything, but it can't do 4K video. So different cameras for different needs. So it is what it is.
I only bought it for like 30 paperweight.
If you want to do a 4K video, then you have to upgrade to the 100S. That costs like a double, is it?
Yeah. And at that price, I don't think anyone doing video would want to buy the 100S for video.
No.
So it's not really about the video, right?
They probably go up all the way to red from that point on.
Yeah, that's the point. Yeah, if we're going to do the 4K and maybe a little bit better image quality, so just go to red.
I mean, Fujifilm is always about photography. So I feel like that's, especially with the medium format, I like the fact that how they just build it in. They don't even like try to put too much in it, because if they do that, that will kind of increase the price of the camera, which can, I think one of the goals, I'm kind of just guessing here, that what they're trying to do is try to put medium format camera in a lower price bracket that they could put this camera in people's hand and try it out, because the price of medium format camera is being so expensive. Most people just kind of shy away from it, and they never really try to experience it. But once you experience it, I mean, before I tried, I said, full frame should be enough. And then once I tried it, you could actually feel the difference. If you never try it, just listen to people talk about medium format. Medium format's like, I don't need it, But then once you try, I feel like, oh, wow, this is very different.
So I'm a wedding photographer, as you guys know. Would a medium format make sense for me, or should I just forget it and just stick with my full frame?
If you're just capturing, I think full frame is fine, but medium format brings something else. There are so many different type of wedding photographers, like the shooting burns, you don't really need that. And then it's just like pure capturing, you don't really need that. But there are artistic photographers out there who do films on weddings. For those, they could actually upgrade to medium format. That way, they could carry on the film look onto their work rather than just keep using film, which it's more safer to do so too. And then for portraiture, it's
magnificent.
Yes.
Yeah,
and also, this is also, I don't know. Now, you as a wedding photographer, you probably experienced this, right? If you buy a full frame like a 1DXL, right now it's like, what? If you're a Sony user, it's Sony A7 III or whatever, which most people can purchase now, and most people will purchase. Right. And then when you actually at a wedding with a lot of people who love photography and have cameras, they will try to compare your gears and compare theirs, which is the same camera.
Yeah.
Imagine you bring your medium format in there. They're looking at you holding their little full frame. Say, "Oh wow,
that's for me. I got something that you don't have. I'm legit. I deserve to capture this wedding because I have a better camera."
Well, we're not going for that, but still, it's different. It kind of make you put you on a different level.
Yeah,
which in some way you would need that to have them to respect you. As
sadly, unfortunately, that's what people see now. Okay, cool. Cool. So I don't know how long you want to go for, Jeremy, but I got a lot of good information. Do you want to kind of wrap it up, or do you want to talk a little bit more? Or Ken, do you have anything else to share about this camera? I mean, we talked about the image stabilization in body, the better battery, the new body, and upgraded processor. What else can you tell us about the camera?
Wait, I got a question. Does this one has the pixel shift?
Well, this one does.
Oh, what's that?
Yeah.
Ken, you can go ahead and explain to David what is the pixel shift.
Well, the pixel shift is a new feature of the Fujifilm GFX series with the body, with the IBIS body built in. You can put the camera on the tripod and do the pixel shift like it take 15 image that you're going to combine it together. That, for example, if you got a GFX 100 as the 102 megapixel, you will have the image with the pixel shift is 400 megapixel. So if you're going to do the mathematics on the 50S Mark II, the 50 megapixel with the pixel shift, you will get 200 megapixel image.
Pretty incredible.
Eat that full frame.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but
12 megapixel.
200 megapixel on the 50S Mark II. Yeah, and this one is quite convenient on the architecture photographer or the landscape photographer. Yeah. Yes. Well, it's really quite hard to do it on the portraits because you can't ask people standing still like, okay, to take 15 images and I'm not moving. It's quite hard, yeah. So that's when it's quite
for
good for
landscape.
Yeah, for landscape or
structures, landscape, architectures, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, also product shooting.
Yeah, you don't need a 200 megapixel portrait. You really don't. Can you imagine how the skin would look like when you're on pores?
You can see the bacteria in the pores if you wanted to.
All right, I do have questions for that though. Since I love retouching, so I need to know what is it like 12-bit RAW or 14-bit RAW on this camera for the files?
And because of the sensor is that old one, so it's still like a 14-bit RAW.
Okay, it's not 16.
Up to the 16, yeah. I'm going to show you a little bit manual of the
that should be enough. 14 is enough.
So as you can see, there's the shooting menu. Here, it's got a still image. And you got the continuous There's no high speed or the lower speed. It's only standard, like a 3 frame per second.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the ISO bracket, Y1 bracket,
Mm-hmm.
AE1,
Mm-hmm.
multi-exposure is up to like a 5 frame, as I remember. Yeah. And also
And that's the
we just
pixel
mentioned
shift.
the pixel shift.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's something I want to play with.
Wait, why does it say ISO? Does pixel shift affect the ISO?
I'm not quite sure because I never tried that.
Okay, I'm just curious. That's all.
I think
Yeah,
it has a little formula with the ISO. I forgot. I read that once, but I don't remember now.
Interesting.
Yeah, probably it's just need to go a little bit deeper of the pixel shift setting. I haven't really tried it.
That's cool.
So, yeah, inside the menus, yeah, and you can see. Oh, sorry, I turn it back to the still. Okay. So it could go to the uncompressed, lossless compress, and also the compressed
You know what?
raw. It's going to be the same.
Even though as awesome as I am, I still don't understand what's the difference between uncompressed and lossless compress.
And by the Fujifilm explanation, the lossless compress is the size is smaller, but all the information is still there. And I don't know, because I always shoot it in the uncompressed. And the one thing you had the lossless compress is you couldn't see any thumbnail preview of the lossless when you import your image inside your computers. They only support the uncompressed one.
Oh,
Yeah, that's what I found out. Yeah.
it doesn't matter. The SD card right now is cheap.
Yeah, it is.
It's cheap,
Price
but if you have larger files, it's just a workload to go through and edit them.
And that's why they have a new sensor. And that's why you need to buy better computers. Don't use laptop. Laptop is bad for you. Use desktop.
Yeah, as you can see, well, the film simulation is all here, including the new one just released on the 100S.
Wait, which one's the new one?
This one is the new one.
Yeah, logistic negative. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, this is the new one. And all other film simulation are built in already.
Sweet.
I couldn't use the other ones. I can
Which
only
one?
use, well,
Cause negative?
yeah, because that's the one that my wife lied about her skin tones. The other one she doesn't.
Okay.
You know, she's not the funky kind of girls. She's the really legit. Awesome.
So the same thing is the 50S Mark II, they also have the smooth skin effect. They have the weak and a strong setting. But this one only effect on the JPEG only. If you're shooting on the JPEG and RAW, the RAW file is remain the same.
Oh, I need that. Because right now I'm a JPEG guy, not a RAW guy. Well, when it comes to casual stuff, of course, for commercial stuff, I still shoot RAW just in case. But like weddings and casual, it's JPEG now. No editing required because I could just apply that in JPEG. I don't have to do anything.
All those film filters, they look good. They don't need any editing.
Also, the low light priority AFS, that's the new thing from the last 50S firmware upgrade add-on.
I forgot what that is. Low light priority AFS. I remember that one. Okay, yeah. Got it.
Yeah, the original 50S doesn't have it until the latest update. So this one already built in.
Okay, cool.
Sweet.
Yep.
Those will help. Definitely.
Well, you have the eye detection on the eye soft, auto, left or right eyes.
How about face?
Nice.
And I think it should be going to be auto.
I prefer eye, to be honest. Why do you care about face? If you can detect eye, that's more accurate. No,
because what happened if I take a picture that hair is covering the eyes?
Oh shoot. I don't capture zombies or ghosts like you do, Jeremy.
No, some of those like really moody picturing how the models have hair all over face.
Yes, exactly.
Those kinds.
So also the same, this one is the Type-C built-in USB port. So it supports the PD power supply to charge the battery.
Wait, hold on. So you have USB-C. So can I have like a power bank just kind of double tape on the bottom and just keep shooting?
I think so.
Yes, you can, but at least you need to have like 18 watt or
yes.
Oh yeah, I have that. That's easily done. Okay, see, that solved the problem.
There's your makeshift battery grip.
DIY.
Hey, I'm saving $15,000. I'll be okay with that.
Oh yeah, me too.
Yeah, so it's going to be pretty much all
Same.
I'm going to showcase of the shooting menu. So we're going to inside the video menu then. So here you can see is the video. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
your
easy
thing.
one is like the 100S, just one button click, and you can switch from the still to the videos.
I love that.
Yeah. But unfortunately, like I said, it's the old sensor, so the video quality only up to the 1080p full frame.
Pretty good. Solid. You got medium format, so it still looks really good.
Yep.
Yep.
So
But you
how
still
does
have the
the
IBIS
video
on.
will work when you shoot something like that on medium format? Does the video look different, like how photo does? David?
It should.
Good question.
I mean, does Ken know the answer? I'm gonna guess, but I don't know the answer.
Well, I'm not quite sure because I never use my GFX to take any video. So, but if I see a video sample from the YouTube or the other social media platform, well, definitely is that there's some depth of field is different. And
Well, that's from the lens. That has nothing to do with the video features.
well, with the sensor, yes.
I think it's a combination of both, right? Because even if you have a medium format lens, if you're using a small part of the sensor, then it's going to look like a full frame lens. So the only way you can get that effect is if it's using the full size of the sensor. So if you're looking at sample videos and it looks like it has really medium format depth of field look, then it's using the full sensor, at least from my understanding. So that would be a big plus, even though it's 1080p. But if you got that depth of field from a medium format look, then that is unique. And that's something that's worth the upgrade to medium format.
Oh, the IBIS actually work with the video mode too. Awesome.
Sweet.
Yeah, it is. So it worked with like the IBIS and the OIS mode at the same time. Also, it support with the IBIS and OIS plus the digital image stabilizer.
The one that crops in a little bit. I like
Okay.
those. They're getting better with the digital image stabilization. I like it.
Yeah. So you also have the IBIS mode for the video too.
Oh, okay. My friends who love that. I have a friend who love handheld shooting. They don't use tripod.
So you can also you can use all the film simulation like the
Yeah.
still mode.
I call it pre-color grading.
Yeah, that's what people call it.
A lot of people love the out of the camera look with these filters. So you might just be happy with that. If you are, then you don't need to spend
All
tons of
these
time
are
editing.
classics. Of course, all the people who try to color grade, try to mimic that now is built in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes your workflow so much easier. You're saving hours of post-processing.
Okay.
So it's pretty much the same of video menus.
Which I don't really care.
Yeah.
I'm good with all the video menus. I'm happy with the 1080p with the medium format look. That looks good.
Oh, there's one thing about the SD slot. It's going to use the latest version. It supported UHS-2.
Okay.
So you can
that's
use
good.
the highest bit card, SD card. Because as I remember, as the 50S is what only support the USH one. It's like back to the 2017. So
Okay.
it's an upgrade.
So it's an upgrade, but it's not a must. You can use the old SD card. It's just slower. You don't have to use the SD, the version 2 of the SD cards, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so let's see if I can sum this up, make sure that we cover everything, right? So brand new GFX 50S Mark II or 50S2, which retail price should be in US, which around $39.99, which is probably, I consider it is the cheapest 50 megapixel medium format camera with IBIS. I mean, no doubt about that. If you go to BNX, you can see that. It doesn't do 4K video, but it can go up to 1080p. It has continuous shot, which is 3 frames per second, right? Ish. and it has the new X processor 4, which is the same as the GFX 100S, and has the same battery, which is W236, same battery, just like XT4 and GFX 100S as well.
Yeah.
Yep. It also carry on the pixel shift, which you can shoot up to 200 megapixel images if you wanted to. Let's see what else. It has 14-bit RAW, and if I remember right, the dynamic range of that is like 12 stop. Isn't right for this for 50?
Exactly the same with 12
Yeah,
stop.
so same as 50s. So yeah, the dynamic range 12 stop, which is pretty good. Really
because
good.
On the GFX 100S, the dynamic range is up to 14 stop, but this one is the 12.
Well, it's half of the megapixel, so it makes sense. But which is, I don't know, as a retoucher, I think that's more than enough. So that's fine.
And dynamic range is 12, but the bit is 14 for the raw still, right?
Yeah.
Okay, just make sure.
Mm-hmm. So I think we sum it up. I mean, this thing is going to be on the market, I think, today. So
no, it's just released today. It should be coming out.
Oh yeah, released today. That's right. Well,
Yeah.
I guess I got too excited. Sorry.
Well, Ken has it in his hand. Dang it.
Yes, I see that. So I thought, oh well. Gotta wait a little bit. But
well, that's awesome. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I am super, super excited about the GFX 50S Mark II. If you guys are interested, let us know in the comments down below what feature about the GFX Mark II that makes you guys interested, and also the links down below to get it and order it if you want it, because supply is gonna be limited, right? Like supply.
the first batch is always short
on everything. Like this pandemic is making everything hard to get. So again, thank you so much, Ken, for being on there and showing us first look in your hands the GFX Mark II. Thank you. All right, guys. Well, that's the end of our video today. Take care, and we'll see you guys.